Alright everybody, this is Anthony from Anthony's Customs. This is my last Marvel Legends review for the day, and probably for a few days at least. This is another requested figure. This is a face-off Iron Man and the variant War Machine figure. They're the identical same figure, just repainted. This Iron Man is, I don't know if it was ever in the comics or not, but it's the exact same outfit basically as was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Dreamcast and the PlayStation, I think. Really popular game, really popular version of the armor. One of my favorite Iron Man figures, but the paint is not very good, so it does have some problems. One of the other problems is the face mask, at least on War Machine, pops off really, really easily. On Iron Man, it's not so bad. The problem, other than that, is if you look closely, the sculpts on the faces are horrendous. They're absolutely horrible. The people, they look like they got hit in the face with a brick or something. I don't know, it just looks really, really bad. So definitely, please, if you're going to get these figures, leave the face masks on. And since they pop off easily, maybe throw some sticky tack in there, or even super glue them on. I don't normally recommend you do stuff like that, but really you don't want these figures without their face masks. Another thing, like I mentioned, is the paint. It's really, really not good. War Machine's chin there is all messed up. It came like that from the factory. These are basically packaged fresh, never displayed, never played with. This is exactly how they came out of the package. The paint's pretty messy around any part where there's two colors that meet. It's pretty sloppy. There's lots of defects, little chunks missing here and there. It looks like the paint was really thick and they maybe posed it to get it into the package too soon. It's just overall pretty poor paint job. Iron Man's a little more obvious about it because the yellow paints aren't good at all in general, but it's just really not a good paint job. These are actually two of the best I've seen. I've had a couple sets of these, and these ones aren't that bad, but overall they're not good. If you buy one, don't expect it to have a really good paint job. I expect it to be at least twice as bad as these are. I know they don't look too bad probably, but overall they're not good. But let's put the face mask on just because I'm tired of looking at that while we do the review. They do just kind of pop in if you can. There we go. Looks cool. It's definitely a cool armor, which is cool. Cool. He has these little snap-on gun things that snap onto his wrists, but they don't really snap on. They just kind of sit there and then fall off pretty easily. Some of them stick better than others. Some of them don't stay at all. It really depends on your figure. They're all different. I mean, they're the same sculpt. They just, whether they stay on or not, complete luck. Alright, let's talk about articulation. The neck has articulation on its own. The head is articulated on top of the neck. Standard ball joint shoulders, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist rotation at the forearm, a hinge at the wrist and at the hands, or at the fingers. You can't get the hand up far enough to do a repulsor blast, and he's got really tiny little repulsor thingies on there. So I don't care for that. It does make a good fist though. This open pointing hand still doesn't raise enough to do a repulsor blast, but I guess it's good enough. Whatever. Ab crunch there, waist rotation, standard ball jointed hips, thigh swivel there, double jointed knee, shin swivel, ankle pivot, ankle rocker, and toe articulation. It is a good sculpt. He's fairly small for an Iron Man figure. He comes in at only just over 6 inches tall. So he's pretty skinny, just like the other Iron Man I reviewed the other day. He is rather small, but he's a great version of the armor, I think. And especially if you can find the War Machine variant, it's a nice 2-pack. Or it's not a 2-pack, they're from 2-packs, but it's a nice set of 2 figures. They come with Mandarin figures that aren't very good, so I'm not going to bother reviewing those unless somebody requests Mandarin in particular. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it at this. See, I can't even get it to stay in. Let's just get him off of the camera. Doesn't look good at all. So that's the face-off Iron Man. It is a cool figure. Good luck getting one with good paint. And like I said, try to stick that helmet on there as best you can, or the face mask, and you'll be pretty happy. Alright guys, that's my last review for the day, probably for the weekend and for Christmas. So, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed. give me a couple of days to not do any reviews, and I'll see you guys soon. So thanks for watching, and in the meantime, keep collecting.